McCullough, and she has a great way for you to start going and seeing colleges right now. You know, summer's coming around. We're finally getting the masks off, and you're probably going to want to go get your feet on some colleges. So the best way to do that, in my opinion, is to partner up with College Scoops, because then you're not standing around wondering which coffee shop to go to, or where should I eat lunch, or what else is there to do in this town, or where should I stay when I go and visit Clemson. So since a lot of people talk about Clemson, I think Moira's going to show you how she would tour Clemson. And Moira, here we go. These are our college acceptance blueprint families who are learning to do everything they need to do to get their kids ready for college.
Lee, thank you so much. I always love talking with you. You have so much energy, and we share and collaborate so much together, whether we're sitting here on a Zoom or texting each other on a college campus, sharing our favorite food and rib spots wherever we go. So thank you for always having College Scoops and supporting us. So yes, Lee and I have collaborated. We are on college visits all the time together, and we're also parents. So as a parent with my 3 kids, college-bound kids, I found that we arrive on campus and not really have a connection vibe to the college campus. So we created these College Scoops guides, which I have a high school senior right now, and he was in the position of being accepted to schools that he never stepped foot on. So I can attest to the fact that we use these all the time for me as a parent going through the process and for College Scoops. So as Lee said, we will share our Clemson guide with you. So as a parent, College Visits 1, your student gets to pick and choose where they want to go and visit. So that's first and foremost. They should be so excited they have the opportunity to get on a college campus. But when we do, especially now, when on-campus programming is not in session, you kind of arrive on campus and you may have a map, you may have some insights from friends, from whoever you know there, but you're just kind of driving around blindly. So what College Scoops has done is we've connected with students at Clemson and the other 85 schools, 100 schools that we have online right now. We connect with current college students, parents who share their insights as to what they wish they knew when they were a freshman parent or student at Clemson. And they share all this rich information. And I love to say it's the upperclassman's guide to campus. I mean, Lee, you know, when you were in college, don't you wish as a freshman you had the upperclassman's guide, you know, to on and around Elon, like where to go, where to eat, where the seniors like to hang out?
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, we just had a family come back from Boston, and they'd never been to the city, and they said College Scoops absolutely saved them because they just looked and said, where should we go, and followed the map. So I do think that it's nice to just have somebody telling you what's going on, and it's somebody that's relevant, right? Relevant. They're going to college.
Exactly. And we always say, you know, definitely stop by admissions, go do the tour and information session if they have it in session. You know, that you start with them. But College Scoops, what we love about it, these guides, they were created by students for students. So students are sharing their insights. It's student testimonials. So let's look at Clemson right now. We're at Clemson. So you give this is the Clemson guide, and it shows you the campus. And then all these categories are the categories that we found were the pain points of students and parents. You know, as a parent, Lee, you and I, where do you park? Especially Boston, you know, oh my gosh, where do you park in Boston? You know, the whole college visit process is expensive. So I hate to say it, but like, I didn't want to spend $20 an hour on a particular parking lot. So we had students who shared their favorite parking spots. Transportation's a big one. My daughter, Lee, you know, goes to University of Michigan, and we didn't realize until sophomore year that she could have booked a $12 ticket on a van from Detroit airport to school versus a $150 Uber bill.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I mean, I would have liked to know that as, you know, Thanksgiving freshman year. So basically these categories are, again, categories that we found were frustrating and stressful for parents as they're taking their students on a college visit, and really for students who are saying, let's get to the chase. If, you know, nightlife, I want to know where to go as a freshman, you know, where are the hot spots to go on and around campus. So we pulled together all this information, specifically right now with colleges being closed to on-campus programming. We put together like a quick scoops tour, which I'll click into that and bring you right to that. So
and
that
I will say this is on your phone. So even though we're seeing it on the computer, I test drove Duke for Moira, and just had my phone, and I actually drove it. It was easy to drive Duke, and got to see all the things I needed to see and gave myself a great tour. So I've personally used it, and it's super easy on your phone.
Thank you for that, Lee, because everything we do is mobile friendly. We want to make it so that whether you're, a student, I love this. We've had parents and families reach out to us saying the student was there on their phone walking around campus looking at it, and like a parent is looking at it on their iPad or whatever, so we've made it where it's mobile friendly. So this one was just quick scoops, just as a explanation, definition for this. We cannot get on campus, and sometimes you're going on a self-guided tour. So we basically reached out and said, besides what the admissions, um, recommends in terms of a tour and what to see, what do students say that you should absolutely go and see if you're at Clemson and you have only 1 hour? So, these were some of the highlights. Like you have to go by Memorial Stadium, that you can't go to Clemson without not getting that feel and that vibe. And the testimonials and the text and the copy for these descriptions are from students themselves. Okay, so that's really important. So students are connecting with our content because it's made by students for students, and it's in the kind of the lens of a student. So they're writing why they picked out these particular venues to look at. We've also created, so that's the quick scoops is the 1 hour tour. Inside scoops is if you were there for half a day, what exactly would they add on to that campus self-guided tour? So there's a whole host of other locations. Lee, you and I know we're both foodies. We also know that it's important to support the surrounding community. This is a place that you're going to call home, where you will thrive not only in the classroom, but outside the classroom. So we always like picking locations that are outside of a campus and that are non-campus related. So students here were like, take a look, and if you're going in or out as you're driving to, we've also put in, day trips, or if you're visiting Clemson and you're, on your way, take a look at some of the activities that you could explore, like Hartwell, outside of the normal
I
tour.
happen to know the kids that go to Clemson spend so much time on that lake. It's
Yeah.
a very boating, outdoorsy school. And the cool thing is a lot of our graduates are actually ambassadors for College Scoops. So
Absolutely.
it's kind of a full circle thing, but I love that because I'm getting validation because I know that lake is a cool place to go and it's on your scoops. So well done.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's the beauty of it. I always love to say parents started reaching out to us and saying, well, where students like to go is not necessarily where we would like to go during, obviously, a parents' weekend. So can we share some insights as to what we would like to do? So really, everything that we have here is all generated from the outreach that we make through experts like yourself, Lee, your students, your families. So that makes it all the more rewarding, because college students say to us, I wish I had this when I was looking. And that's, I think, the biggest validation that we're doing something that's helpful. And that's why they want to engage in College Scoops and help us. I like to point out nightlife because truly, like, that's what some of the students are worried about. We talk about academic fit, but I know from personal experience with my kids and Lee, I'm sure you with yours as well, that you're in the car and we know that they haven't the college list, that there's an academic fit, but we're also like, the kids are worried about, like, will I make friends? Like, is this a place where, I can call home? Will I feel connected? If I'm not Greek life, will I be happy at Clemson? So we reached out to, our students and said, what is it? Where would you take your best friend who is visiting from home on a Friday night? Where would you take your mother? I like to say my, I laugh
If we were
because
cool enough, it would be the same place, right? If we were cool, it would be the same place.
well,
I don't know.
I'm going to tell you a story. I was just down at Richmond for my son's graduation at University of Richmond, and all of his roommates came running up to me and said, hey, listen, Mrs. M, we love the place that you took us to, Slingshot, when you visited last, and that's been our senior hotspot. So full disclosure, we have a new spot that is now going to be on our Richmond guide that we found that had a bowling alley. It had a whole bunch of different games in there, but that ended up being the cool spot to hang out. And it's because my son and I stumbled upon it as we were walking through Richmond. So I think nightlife is just big, just because students who don't have a friend on campus are saying, honestly, what happens after we get out of the classroom? what would I be doing, on the weekend? So we've broken out nightlife, and we do it kind of to be thoughtful in terms of, where do seniors hang out? Where do freshmen hang out? Like, again, some schools may have parties that are more lodge, geared towards the freshman students. Some may have some that are, it's a senior hangout and you don't want to be found at the Tigertown Tavern unless you were, had an ID and you could get it. So have you been here, Lee? I'm sure you have.
I have been to Clemson, but I haven't been to Tigertown.
Okay. Okay. That one is on my list. And I think you and I should meet there at one point because it's supposed to be a good hot spot. But these are all the information that we share. We also have in here parent tips, which are tips that parents have shared with us as to what they wish they knew as a first-time parent going through it. I love personally, here's the inside scoops, which are student testimonials from students. And the student was like, oh my gosh, even at a school with almost 20,000 students, you can walk from class to class. You can't walk from class to class without seeing somebody. So for somebody who's afraid of like, oh my gosh, this is too big, will I ever run into somebody I know? Here's student testimonials that are saying absolutely not. Like, it's a great small, you can make it small, as small as you want.
That's invaluable to have this because the website for the school and the information session and all of that is fantastic for that academic fit. But at the end of the day, it's marketing. This is real kids telling you the real deal about the school, and that is priceless.
Yeah, and that's it. This is like all the information that you would want, like your best friend. Like, give me the quick notes on why you loved Clemson and why. I love this one too. I never knew this. I know as a parent in high school, you're always trying to get the books early. Everyone's telling you don't buy the books until you get to school, and don't buy them necessarily at a particular website. And it's different for every school. So every school that you go on to will have all this information. Template is the same, and it will share everything that those particular, students that we've gathered, information that they've shared with us. I also like to highlight, and Lee, you've been so instrumental in helping us with this, with all of your feedback and families that you've put us in touch with. When parent scoops, you and I, again, students, when you show up on parent orientation, they would love you to take them out for dinner, and they don't want to go to their favorite food spot around the corner. Unfortunately,
no, they want to go to the expensive steakhouse that broke college kids can't go to. And
Exactly.
I used this when I was going with Carson to state. I mean, there was a steakhouse that I didn't know, but in Scoops it said it was a don't miss, and that's where we made reservations. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the study hall, the hotspot for seniors. So who would have known? So this type of information, again, it would be if you can't, reach, a student, if you don't know of a student there, or if you want to take all that information that you've had and recommendations from friends, this allows both parents and students to look at it through their own lens and kind of, as a parent, making it easy to plan logistically, getting to and from campus, booking hotels directly, booking restaurant venues directly. I remember at Richmond, there's a spot, Weston, that everyone tells you to go to, and that's where we're going to run into all the parents there. So you click on the Marriott, you can click on their website directly, make reservations. So for me, as a parent busy with kids' business, I can go in and book a reservation, which I did for my high school senior at schools, and it took me 5-10 minutes to plan a trip to College X.
So this is super cool. I want everybody to know that you can go onto their website and look at things. I'm going to send an email to everyone tonight, or actually this afternoon, that tells you exactly how to get into College Scoops with an overall brochure. But the coolest thing of all is that Moira has a discount for those of you who are attending today. And I think you said it was $99 for a
Absolutely.
year.
Yes.
A whole year. So this whole year you can travel around and have the scoop right on your phone.
And I would also, Lee, I just want to make a quick little plug for this. Not only is it great for when you're applying to, and visiting these schools, but we have had freshmen and sophomores who, Lee, as you know, just arrived on campus. Sometimes some were not invited back until second semester, freshman year at certain campuses. We've had students who've reached out and used this as a college student saying, again, I'm a freshman. I didn't get to connect on the softball field, in the student government, or at Greek life, but I now have information from upperclassmen that will allow me to feel connected and meet some students because I know where they're all gathering, and I can view it, as kind of a resource as a current student,
It
which is
is
huge.
cool.
I was surprised, and as a parent, I was thrilled because I was able to like go and visit my kids at a college campus and introduce them to spots that the upperclassmen were at, and they're like, "How did you know that? You're such a cool mom." So I'm just making a plug as a
Yeah,
parent.
it's definitely it's a great thing. I want to thank you for giving the deal to all of our families for being on this program, because the whole reason that we're doing this is we want families to leave as educated as possible about what's supposed to be an exciting time but can be rather stressful. So lowering family stress, I think, is a goal of yours, it's a goal of mine, and make this a fun family, next step. So
Yes.
thank you very, very much.
Well, thanks so much, Lee, and thank you always for supporting. And can't wait to continue to get your current college students to contribute and share your resources as well.